व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत जी का आचार्य स्तोत्र प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के all glories to symbol Lord Hare Krishna, all glories Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Prabhupada की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुवन्दनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यादिपश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, chapter 30, text number 33. केवलेन हि अधर्मेण कुटुम्बाभरणोत्सुकः याति जीवोन्दतामिश्रम् चरमं तमसः पदम्
कुटुम्बाभरणोत्सुकः याति जीवोन्नतामिश्रम् चरमं तमसः पदम् केवलेन हि अधर्मेण कुटुम्बाभरणोत्सुकः याति जीवोन्नतामिश्रम् चरमं तमसः तमसपदं केवलेन ह्यधर्मेण कुटुम्बभरणोत्सुकः याति जीवो अन्धतामिस्रं चरमं तमसः पदम् केवलेन ह्यधर्मेण कुटुम्बभरणोत्सुकः याति जीवो अन्धतामिस्रं चरमं तमसः पदम्
Kevalena, simply, he, certainly, adharmena, by irreligious activities, kutumba, family, bharana, to maintain, utsukaha, eager, yati, goes, jivaha, a person, andatamisram, to andatamisram, charamam, ultimate, tamasaha, of darkness, padam, region. Translation. Therefore, a person who is very eager to maintain his family and kinsmen simply by black methods certainly goes to the darkest region of hell, which is known as Andatamisra. Purport. 3 words in this verse are very significant. Kevalena means only by black methods. Adharmena means unrighteous or irreligious. And Kutumba Bharana means family maintenance. Maintaining one's family is certainly the duty of a householder. But one should be eager to earn his livelihood by the prescribed method, as stated in the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described that the Lord has divided the social system into 4 classifications of castes or varnas according to quality and work. Apart from Bhagavad Gita, in every society, a man is known according to his quality and work. For example, when a man is constructing wooden furniture, he is called a carpenter. A man who works with an anvil and iron is called a blacksmith. Similarly, a man who is engaged in the medical or engineering fields has a particular duty and a designation. All these human activities have been divided by the Supreme Lord into 4 varnas, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. In Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literatures, the specific duties of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra are mentioned. One should work honestly according to his qualification. He should not earn his livelihood unfairly by means for which he is not qualified. If a Brahmana who works as a priest so that he may enlighten his followers with the spiritual way of life is not qualified as a priest, then he is cheating the public. One should not earn by such unfair means. The same is applicable to the Kshatriya or to a Vaishya. It is especially mentioned that the means of livelihood of those who are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness must be very fair and uncomplicated. Here it is mentioned that he who earns his livelihood by unfair means, Kevalena, is sent to the darkest hellish region. Otherwise, if one maintains his family by prescribed methods and honest means, there is no objection to one's being a family man. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of everyone. I don't have any qualification. Hare Krishna. So, this chapter is very, scary for anybody actually. Last time I made a statement. When it is very scary, first of all, we don't accept it. Second thing, we think so whoever is going to hell, they are unfortunate. Definitely I will not go there. Third thing, if we accept it, then we forget it. After the Bhagavatam class is over, hey, what was the topic of the class? I don't remember, but prasad is good afterwards. One architect told me, we have a convenient Alzheimer's. You remember what loan you gave, you don't remember what loan you took from others. You remember what service you have done to others, but you don't remember what service they have done to you. You remember how somebody upset you, but you don't remember the harsh words you spoke. What is it called? Convenient Alzheimer's. Serious. The ego is there to tell us we are right. Maybe it is true more with material world, but when we come here, we have the same mentality. So that's why one has to come with the desire to, one has to come to here with the desire to apply and change. If not, it will go through one hole and it will come out from another hole. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had 60,000 disciples. And what is the opinion of Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, in Gaudiya Math circles? One lecture I heard. Abhay Babu is a pounds and shillings man. He doesn't even come to see Guru Maharaj. But nobody knew he was actually working very hard to bring money and support Saraswati Thakur projects. And whenever he would come only to listen with an intent to change. He would come to listen with an intent to change. Honestly speaking, to make progress in our spiritual life, how many of you want to know who our enemies are? Who are our enemies in making progress in spiritual life? Do you really want to know? Exactly. We ourselves are the enemies. Our mind and senses. Nobody else. Who is our enemy? Our mind and senses. Our conditioning. Ego is there only to tell you are right. Prabhu, you are so nice. Amazing, really. Our purification usually doesn't come from our glorification. It comes through the things that we don't like. Maybe a chastisement, or you're put on the spot, and you're humiliated. Actually, purification comes from, of course, Śrimad Bhāgavatam, listening Śrimad Bhāgavatam, chanting the holy name, and associating with the devotees, no doubt. But sometimes we are humiliated also. People think, something good happens, Krishna's mercy. Something bad happens, that is also Krishna's mercy. People don't understand that. Getting green card is Krishna's mercy. Getting COVID also is Krishna's mercy. People don't understand that. Being humiliated is also Krishna's mercy. If you understand that, we go forward in our life. So, what is Kali Yuga? Whatever is wrong is promoted on large scales by government, by educational system, and by parents. So, that's why, what is material world? What is that? Antha yadhanda upniyamana tepishatandra urdam namadda. People of Kali Yuga, they are manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyo patrata. People are dull. Dull means what? Manda has a word antha in it. They don't know what is right, what is wrong. Plus andha, manda. So they don't know what is right, what is wrong. In fact, many people think right is wrong, wrong is right. That is Kali Yuga. So that is Lord Chaitanya's contribution. Yesterday I was talking to our Adaya Pran Prabhu. He asked a question to our, yesterday actually a wonderful class Pancharatna Prabhu gave, and Adaya Pran Prabhu asked a question actually. Similar question bothered me for a very long time. So what is Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga, so I actually asked one question to Chandrasekhar Maharaj, maybe 2004, 2005. Maharaj, usually in the courts, they tell you what you have done wrong. And there is a trial also. So you are there during the trial. And then they'll tell you, this is a punishment you are given. I really do not know what punishment, what is the wrong thing I have done. I am punished. And Maharaj Chandrasekhar Maharaj said, Yugala-Kichora, trust me. Whatever the package you have received, your name is there on it. That's the one line he said. Whatever the package you received, your name is there on it. I accepted it because Maharaj is very advanced, sannyasi. What is Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga means, first of all, the knowledge is always available in books. Slowly those books are lost. The qualified gurus who have the knowledge about the books, when the books are lost, even by the power of time, the people who are very qualified to give that knowledge to the society, they are also swept out. Sakale neha hata yogo nashta parantapa. Hrudayananda Maharaj says, Krishna is telling, I have come this knowledge that is given, that goes through disciplic succession. Over a period of time, it is lost. So I am coming again to Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, I am coming again to revive it. Hrudayananda Maharaj says, that's why Mahabharata time, so much of demigod worship. Why? The pure teachings of Gita are lost. So what runs the society is actually books, spiritual books. When the books are lost, then what happens? The people who have knowledge, they will be there only 20, 30, 40, 50 years. When they are gone, that chunk of knowledge is gone with them. Their experience is gone. Like for example, our Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he left. So his lectures are there, but how he did the administration, 17 temples, huge temples, and what are the guidance, that is not available. That is available to 15, 20 people. They all have to come together, and present it. If not, that is lost. So likewise, the way Gita was lost for a period of time, because of which during Mahabharata times, only just demigod worship and there is no quote-unquote a pure path for devotional service. So Krishna himself came and revived. So likewise, what is Kali Yuga? Andha, darkness. Lord Chaitanya knew this. There will be nothing but darkness. So what he did, hey look, you take the holy name, you just chant the holy name, you follow this bhakti process, you'll go back to Godhead also. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Yugavatar, he has delineated this process. And don't worry about other things, what you have done, what you have not done, why you are going through. That information is not there, you are not going to live long. Just focus on getting out of this dark well of existence. Wow. That is the answer. The answer I got myself, in addition to what Chandrasekhar Maharaj said. So, otherwise what is that? By Bhagavatam, there are only few handful of people. People are not interested. In Western world, there is something called preaching to the choir. How many of you heard this? First time I heard this from temple president of Nurundan. Yugala-Kichora, you know what is preaching to choir? I never heard this in India. And he made a statement. I'm sorry, I have to explain this a little bit, some people don't know. In church, every day, those days, not now, it's only once a week now anyway. All the people come, they perform the music and they sit down there. And this pastor, he says, you have to come to church every day. You have to chant your rounds every day. You follow 4 regular principles every day. Who is there? Nobody is there. And that choir is there, they have not left because this guy has not paid them. If he had paid them, they would have left also. So he needed somebody to speak. So, that is like that. You know, only handful of brahmacharis, some come, they come. Other people, what is Kali Yuga? Actually, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, somebody said, I don't know whether Hadaya Prabhu said or Nattur Gauram Prabhu said. He said, I think you said. He said, these universities professors are terrorists. Who said that? Hadaya Prabhu said that. You know, so I loved it. And I have been thinking of this, I did not speak to that level. Serious, hey, you are this body, you make money, you'll be happy. Hey, professors are miserable. You know? And then what happens, the people who come from outside, you know, if you make money, you'll be happy. Hey, for them to get the green card, you know, nowadays it is taking, there's a joke now, green card at the graveyard. Means you will not get the green card until you are ready to die. Means you need to retain the job until that much long, so much anxiety. When you are in that anxiety, where is the question of coming to Bhagavatam class, chanting your rounds? Even devotees who come to who are in the temple, who join the temple, if they have other motives, they are not so driven. They are not so driven for making spiritual progress. Then what happens? You know, the product that we are generating is of not so high quality. That is Kali. I'm talking to myself, I'm like that product actually. I made a statement in ISKCON Farmington Hills. Even though there are this many people, even 5 people say, with all the impurities in the heart, envy, anger, pride, my goal is pure devotional service. It will make so much. The temple will flourish. My goal is pure devotional service. What is the definition of pure devotional service? Anya vilashita sunyam ajnana karmatena vratam anukulyana Krishna anusilanam bhaktiruttama. No other desire other than pleasing Krishna. So you are not coming to the Bhagavatam class means what? I know everything, I don't need to. Arre, that is the powerful Maya. Many times I would give the class, I wanted 1 or 2 persons to be there. Everyone would be there, but they won't be there. Wow. Amazing, huh? I know everything. What do you mean you know everything? I'm honest with you, when an accident happens, you are bleeding, you will not think of anything other than calling 911 and rush to the hospital. Am I right or not? Maya will never work like that. Maya pulls drop by drop, drop by drop, drop by drop, drop by drop. You become, after 2-3 months of drop by drop, you become weak, but you don't tell anybody because ego is there. Then what happens? One kick, only one stop, hit hard. Maybe you'll get a job, you'll get some money, or you'll find somewhere some relationship, then you'll give it up. Wow, I've seen this again and again and again. I also have the same fear for myself. You know? So, we are all in the airport. We are living in this airport for 70 years, 80 years. After that, all these passengers will take flights. Some passengers will take a domestic flight to Florida. Some passengers will take an international flight, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, some African countries. Some passengers will take flight to India. Some people will take flights to extraterrestrial distances, other planets. Some sincere people will take flight to Golokurundavan. But we are all in the airport, whether you believe it or not. When you don't come to Mangalarti, nothing happens. Actually, nothing happens, but something happens. What is that? Life is two things. Life means two things. Krishna is watching, Maya is watching. Life is a choice, Krishna or Maya. It's a minute-to-minute choice. Out of few thousand thoughts, most of the thoughts are from Maya actually. Anything we think through mind is actually a thought of Maya. We are just reaping our karma, that's it. But do we have a sharpened intellect from where we can think, with which we can think? When we are able to make decisions through purified intelligence, that is when we are actually getting guidance from Paramatma. Otherwise, it's just action and reaction of what we have done in the previous lives, in this lifetime. I told so many stories. Actually, some people take flight to hellish regions also. I forgot to add that line. One lecture, His Holiness Radhana Swami mentioned, most of the people you know, they go to hellish regions, he said. And he said, if you are sincere, there is a pause, and genuinely sincere, you will never get to see Yamaraj, he said. I have so many stories actually, So people will see only just 2-3 days before that. But my point is, that's why one has to be, whatever the progress that we make internally, no one can take it from us. External progress can always be taken away. External things means, positions, GBC, what is that, zonal supervisor, temple president, department head, started, say, what is that, saffron, Brahman initiated. But the real thing is internal. Did I make progress? Do I have attraction for Krishna? Do I have attraction to chant the holy name? Do I have attraction to come to Mangalarti? Initially, no. That's why it's called Vidhi, Vaidhi Bhakti, Vidhi. You have to force yourself. You are forcing yourself to keep yourself awake, but chanting, finally, one time you may fall asleep also during chanting. But Krishna sees how much did we struggle to keep ourselves awake before we fall asleep. That's what Krishna sees. When we don't want to chant our rounds, we should chant more. When we don't want to associate with devotees, we should associate more. When, actually I want to give an example. Should I give? We all have highs and lows in our spiritual life. How many of you agree? Sometimes you are beaming with a lot of enthusiasm, maybe you become ecstatic also, especially Kirtan happens. Tears may cascade from your eyes also, but sometimes you are zero. Actually, Radhana Swami mentions, when you are spiritually bankrupt, zero, that is the best time you can convey a message to Krishna. That is the best time you can make progress. How many of you want to know? When you are spiritually zero, zero enthusiasm, that is the best time you can make maximum progress. You really want to know the solution? I experienced that actually. How many of you want to know? You come before Radha Govinda Deva and say, my Lord, I have zero interest to come before you. I am not interested at all, but only to please you I came. My mind is telling, my senses are telling, go and sleep. My mind is telling, leave this place, try your luck in the material world. But only to please you, my Lord, I came. That is the day you can become maximum progress. This devotee is giving me trouble, that is a problem. That's how my works actually. I used to live in Vrindavan. Very few people in Mangalarti. And nowadays, cold is not so much actually. 20 years ago, very cold. And every day, 2-3 people only. So, one day I became really depressed. I was standing in Mangalarti, sitting. Vrindavan is probably bigger place than this actually. It can take 1,000 people. Big temple hall, but 2-3 people. So I was standing before Radha Vrindavan Chandra, and it was literally zero enthusiasm. Suddenly I remembered this statement, whatever I told now. When you are spiritually bankrupt, that is the best time you can convey. That's the best time you can make more progress. So then I told him, my Lord, I am miserable, but I have come before and I am attending Mangalarti only to please you. Then I raised my hand, started dancing like a madman. So other 2 people thought, what happened to him? There is not like such an enthusiastic kirtan going on, only 2 more people. And believe me, everything changed. I am telling a story of 20 years ago. They also became enthusiastic. So Krishna is not standing there and watching Krishna is not a sadist or anything. Krishna, he is there, right there, just to encourage us that. But Krishna is standing behind the curtain, ready to come before you. I never shared my experience till this day, of course. Many. So, the point is, one should have this, one should cultivate that enthusiasm. That is real progress. That is real mercy. Krishna is telling you to do this bhakti day after day, month after month, year after year. That is the true mercy. Green card is not true mercy actually. Or some other things is not true mercy. You have a desire to stay here no matter what. When you are completely humiliated, you are checked out, you are checkmated by Maya, still you continue. That is real mercy. I have seen how Maya comes. 2 people quarrel. Both will have problems. Both will have problems. I have seen that. I also unfortunately during the temple construction went through that. I also paid heavy price. Though I just defended. But still, because Maya loves that. When 2 people quarrel, Kali means what? Quarrel. I have a question for all of you. I have the same question to Grihasthas I asked. They said this. You are married for 20 years. So much of love, warmth and affection between wife and husband. 20 years of sharing so many sweet things. But yesterday you quarreled heavily with the spouse. The next day you knock the door, spouse opens the door. Do you remember the 20 years of sweet experiences? Or you remember what happened yesterday? Fight. Wow. Kali. That is Kali. Kali works on your mind and retrieves the yesterday fight. Kali blocks your intelligence. And same thing, you have a sweet relationship with a brahmachari for 5 years. But yesterday you seriously argued, quarreled. Do you remember that sweet exchanges you had, this brahmachari or brahmacharini having with another brahmacharini? Do you remember that? The quarrel yesterday, we remember the fight. That is a proof we are in Kali Yuga actually. What is the end result? Both will have spiritual problems. I have seen this again and again and again. Two people quarrel wherever I would travel. Both were not initiated. Both were 16 rounds, aspiring. After 20 years also they are not initiated. They both ended up in serious spiritual struggles. Unless we develop respect, what is the medicine for familiarity? Respect. I tell this to Grihasthas, same thing here also. I wrote an article in BTG one time. Rupa Goswami gives 5 things to make progress. What are the 5 angas out of 64? Panchanga Bhakti. What is the 5 angas? Harinam Sankirtan, Dhamvas, Bhagavad Shravan, deity worship, chanting the holy name. Harinam Sankirtan. Oh, you said Harinam Sankirtan? Satsanga, Vaishnava Seva. So, wherever, if we apply these 5 things, you will definitely make progress. By the power of Maya and Kali, we develop familiarity. We come before Radha, Govinda Dev, okay, Govinda Maharaj Vishnu, okay, holy name, okay, First day when you come and join full time in the temple, Krishna is the biggest marketing manager actually, Krishna's marketing is amazing. So when you come into the temple, Krishna reveals. Satsuru Maharaj says, if at all anyone makes any progress in their life, their maximum progress is first 2 years when they don't know anything. You come, this is Satsuru Maharaj's statement actually. You come before them, you don't know anything, you take prasad, alright, this is nectar. You come before Krishna, oh, Krishna is Radha Govinda, is amazing. And devotees are pure devotees. Everything is great, Bhagavatam is great, Bhagavad Gita is great. 3 years later, everyone is not a pure devotee. Hey, that is not their problem, it is your problem. You are judging them. Means you will have problems. I'm sorry, the class this is all introduction to the class actually. But why I'm telling this is, when devotees come together, actually in the last week I was watching this, what is the challenge? Monk challenge. Everyone was united. How much, you all should know, more than what you gave. Not outsider, I was insider, but I was watching it because I was not part of it. Because there was a unity and there was a planning between the residents, brahmacharis. I know some matas also joined, and that's together that created that type of synergy. Wow. I'm sure I can tell you as a person watching this, they were sufficiently positively spiritually affected. Not because of anyone's intellect. The famous statement is there. Collective unity is much better than individual purity. What a statement, huh?
Collective unity is much better than individual
purity. Collective unity is much better than individual purity. You may be pure, maybe following 4 regulated principles from childhood, but it is only certain extent you can contribute. But when there is in collective unity, it creates a synergy. You have only energy, but when we come together, it creates synergy actually. So, Prabhupada said, now I am coming to the class, Vedic culture is not actually, Vedic culture is Varnashram. Prabhupada said the society is in chaos because there are no Brahmins. Prabhupada said if 1% of people in the world become Krishna conscious, world will change. You all should know, recently we had a temple president meeting of North American presidents. And there they came out with the concept Vision 235. Vision 2035. You know what is the vision of 2035? They are telling 3% of Americans will become Krishna conscious. How much? And the whole day was, what do you expect in 11 years to come? 3% means what? Out of 350 million people, 3% means what? Around 11, 12 million Krishna conscious people. Then one Mataji said, I see this happening in Lashua. Somebody, so plumbing, the plumber is actually a devotee. When we go outside, when we go for shopping, there is a devotee. Walmart, there is a devotee. That is very good. So the point I am trying to tell is, I am coming back, 1% people of their Krishna consciousness, if they are Krishna conscious, world will become better. Why? He will guide others. What are the qualities of Brahmana? I have a question for any one of you. What are the qualities of Brahmana?
Patience.
Okay.
Austerities.
Austerity. Huh?
Cleanliness. Charity.
Cleanliness.
Equanimity.
Self-control. Samadhamastapa kshantirarjameva cha jnanam vijnanamastakhyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Sama peaceful, dhamma sense control, tapa austerity, tapasya austerity, kshanti tolerance, arjam honesty, jnanam theoretical knowledge, vijnanam realized knowledge. Situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness. That is a Brahmana. This Brahmana took the letter of Rukmini and went to Krishna. First question Krishna asked, Krishna, Brahmana, are you peaceful? Means who will be peaceful? A person who is sense controlled, he is peaceful. If you are so much agitated by the senses, where is the peace? If we do not strike the balance between body and mind, if they are not in harmony, we cannot offer harmony to the rest of the world. Forget about the rest of the world, we cannot offer harmony in the temple. If you are so much agitated sexually or so much agitated mentally or so much agitated sensually, that it becomes visible when you deal with others. It is an austerity to be cool when you are so much internally disturbed. It's not easy. It has to reflect outside. One has to strike the balance internally. At least there should be harmony between mind and senses. Little bit. Otherwise, small problem, he'll become angry. What are the qualities of Kshatriya? So, before I tell that, we have come here to cultivate Brahmanical qualities. Brahmana is not in ignorance. Brahmana is in mode of goodness. Kshatriya is in mode of passion. Vaishya is a passion and ignorance combination. Shudra is a working class, Rajogun, Tamogun, ignorance. If everyone in the temple lives in ignorance, then where is the room for elevation? We should have, why are we striving? We are all striving to come to goodness. You can't give what you don't have. If you have $20, you can give maximum $20. Lord Chaitanya said, Janma Sarda Kuri Karo Paropakara. You want to help others? You help yourself first. I want to show you something. Can you take this out actually? So what I want to show is this. This is so many years of practice. Can everyone see what is in my hand? With this wire, thin wire. So I am showing from this point to this one. From here, I wish I could have colored them. This 2, 3. So from here to here is goodness. Your consciousness is when you come to the morning class, when you come to the Bhagavatam class, when you chant your rounds, your consciousness here. See everyone, I am putting like this, that way it may be more easy to. But you know what happens? So morning, your consciousness is here. Though you are in Tamagun, because you made an endeavor to come to the morning class, come to the morning program, chant your rounds, You are staying afloat of 2 guna, 3, rest of the 2 gunas, Raja and Tamo, passion and ignorance, and you are floating here. The moment you take prasad and go down, or go down to your rooms, and then what happens? We go down here. And if you are not careful, some are sexually agitated, some have this fruity mentality, I me mine. This is where we linger, during the day. Then if you're not careful, then envy, anger, pride, quarrel. If you're not, we are in New York City where modes are very powerful. Actually, one day I went to Harinam and I was distributing books with our Gopal Chand was used to come those days. And I sold a book and that person said, hey, nice. I shook my hands with him. And Gopal Chand Prabhu said, never do this. This is Times Square. You don't know who will come. You don't know. Never do that. Never embrace anybody. Never touch anybody. That's not good. So even if you're staying afloat of these 3 gunas, just by coming in contact with them, your consciousness changes. What to speak of eating unoffered food. So our goal is, actually we all have so much mercy by Srila Prabhupada, all the spiritual masters are praying. We are staying afloat. What happened?
He said if we touch the people from Times Square, we get contaminated, so I was touching the devotee to uncontaminate myself.
So, no, actually that's what Gopal Chand told me that day. So the point is, we all have to raise the consciousness. The real goal of spiritual life is not anything, but real goal of spiritual life is become free from Maya. If not, what happens? We will become victim of Maya. So that's why, then what happens? Whatever outside material world, growth is much more difficult. Offices, I also worked in America good amount of time. Tamagun. The moment office, any layoff is announced, somehow let me say, so much of politics. You're Facebook, that means you're bombarded from 7-8 fronts. You're like an Abhimanyu and 7-8 people are hitting you. It's constantly insanity. We have the solution. I can see anybody's happy in New York City, all the people sitting here, brahmacharis and brahmacharinis, that's it. If you are sincere. That's why we should strike nice relationships, respect, and we should not quarrel. Because some prabhu, what is that? There is no. Pranada Visunichan is a great verse which I could never apply in my life. But if you can apply, you'll go back to Godhead also. Great gateway to great way is Trinada Visunichan. Third verse will take you to the other 5 verses easily. If not, we'll get stuck in the third verse only. I'm trying to knock the door, but we're always stuck there only. Without Trinada Visunichan, Adhanam Najanam Sundarim will not happen fully. Without that, Ayananda Tanuj, that Kinkaram can never. Even if sometimes it happens because of the great souls who are here giving class. But if we want to do on our own, it's a progression. First verse is, one time I mentioned this. This is all the great things of holy name. Second verse is antithesis. Despite this many advantages of chanting the holy name, Durdaivam, I cannot chant the holy name. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives, don't worry, there is a solution. Synthesis. Trinada Visvedachana. That is the solution. This is antithesis and synthesis. That is a gateway to the great way. Then, just like that, you'll give up Nadanam Najanam Sundarim. And you reject liberation also, Janmani Janmani Janmaneshware. Somebody, Lord Chaitanya comes and somebody says, hey, you want to come back to Brahman? Or you want to come to Vaikuntha? No problem, from there I'll try. So no. Anyway, I'll not waste your time, but thank you very much. So, Trinadavisana, if we can apply that, trying to apply, even if you are a failure, at least I'm a failure. So, Grihasthas, they have to thoroughly lead an honest life. Then Krishna will give everything. If not, if honesty is not there, then where is happiness? Hare Krishna. So, one should become Krishna conscious and lead a very honest life for the pleasure of Krishna. Why the world is chaos? Today everyone is trying to exploit Mother Earth. So when 4 thieves went and robbed the bank, and then they said, let us honestly distribute this money. Where is the honesty? Hey, you robbed the bank, let us honestly distribute. Today everyone is plundering Mother Earth. After that they are telling, let us honestly distribute among. This is actually Srila Prabhupada's statement. Where is the honesty? That's why there is no happiness. There is no happiness to the professors, there is no happiness anywhere. But if you lead an honest life, definitely you'll be happy. Any question or comment, otherwise we'll end it here. Yes. Thank you.
No need for mic because this thing collects all the sound.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I could 2 small comments. Maybe you can after that say something. So the first one is when we speak about the qualities of the Brahmanas, and also one of the important qualities, astikyam. That astikyam, that has very strong faith that whatever is said in Shastra, it is so. It really makes a difference between the mentality of the Brahmana and other kinds of personalities. So that's one thing. And the other thing, I was thinking, like we were speaking a little bit about Mangalarati and going to Mangalarati without having enthusiasm and how we make serious investment. I started deliberating that actually very often in our lifestyle in the temple, we very firmly push ourselves and the devotees to go to Mangalarati, but we never push very strongly devotees to go to sleep on time. So like at home, for example, the mother or father, they will push the kids to go to sleep early because they know otherwise they cannot get up in the morning.
True.
But somehow in our lifestyle, we very often we make this elaborate like evening programs, whatever it is that, but then next day everybody should get up and work. So it becomes really difficult.
I agree. Prabhuji, Rajoguna. It's because of Rajoguna, mode of passion. If it is 10 o'clock in the night, for most of the people it is actually late afternoon. It is true with devotees also. I know one professor, he was a brahmachari candidate. He told his Guru Maharaj, I want to become a brahmachari. Guru said, no, you get married. This professor and his wife, by 9 o'clock, is a professor from a top-notch institution in India, equal to MIT actually. By 9 o'clock, he drops everything. Like, he was working, 9 o'clock, he leave the pen there, 9 o'clock. It takes another half an hour to wind up. Because of this, 9 o'clock he gets up. I had the fortune of watching Pancharatana Prabhu. I saw him come down at 4:30 he came yesterday morning, Mangalarti. And I never saw him come upstairs because he was working whole day. He came upstairs around 8:45. I was giving a class actually. So he didn't tell me anything. He's a great gentleman, you can go, can you go? He didn't say anything. He just lay down. Before I finished my class, 9 o'clock, he was already asleep. Wow, 9 o'clock. I wrote these books, and I don't know if anyone opened it or not. Ayurveda, before 12 o'clock, midnight, every 1 hour sleep is equal to 2 hours. Anyway, I'll tell my bad example so that people can learn from my bad example. When I joined full time for so many years, I would sleep 9:30. Slowly 9:30 became 10, 10 became 10:15, 10:15 became 10:30, 10:30 became 11. Now I have a problem. I cannot sleep till 11, 11:30. But you made a point. I push myself to come to Mangalarti every day. So one day my Guru Maharaj told me, eat nicely, sleep nicely. This is the instruction he gave. Somehow, first one I could do it, but second one I could never do it. So Gauram Prabhu made a statement, last day also you have to chant your rounds. If we come to Sattva, then only we will be able to push it hard. Rajoguna, we can push ourselves a lot, but one day it will ground you. That's the problem with Rajoguna. We abuse the body. One devotee brahmachari, he said, outsiders, they think they are this body and they abuse the body. Devotees, they abuse the body knowing they are not this body. Both are wrong. So you made a point that we have to wind up our programs. Actually, I'll tell you, after 9 o'clock, heavy tamoguna starts. One should not do any meetings that time. Even if you do the counseling, that doesn't work. Because of the heavy tamoguna influence. Others cannot purchase it. Better after 9, 9:30, no more cultivation, no more, what do you call it? No, there should not be any activity actually, as simple as that. One can read if sleep is not coming. That is my 2 cents of advice. I'm just adding over whatever you said. Thank you. Nice point, you made it. Anyway, I'll tell you one more thing. Veer Krishna Maharaj, one day he did a seminar in Europe. You want to know the name of the seminar? Luckily, no, it doesn't happen here. Don't kill devotees. The prasad, his topic was on prasad. Too spicy, so much oily, that does, Anyway, that is, So we should have healthy food and we should have healthy lifestyle. That's what I want to say. You want to add anything? Thank you very much. Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Please forgive me if I've spoken anything wrong, but very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna. Ananda Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Stop killing devotees. Stop killing devotees.
Put that on the wall.
You were, did anyone attend the seminar? Stop killing the devotees?